We're getting ready to go, Kevin. These are the official preseason Take 1 BEG rankings. We're going to go through the first 5 weight classes this week. Next week, we'll go through the second 5. But these are our official rankings, Kevin, and we're doing them a little differently. We're going to do what makes sense, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so these are not – okay, so you can't look at these and go, oh, well, you know, so-and-so just beat this person. They're ranked in front. What this is our predictions for the end of the year, okay? Now, there's going to be some wild stuff initially because we don't even know who's going what weight classes, okay? So these are just based off of who we believe are going these weight classes and where they're going to end up, okay?
We will adjust accordingly throughout the season, but if they wrestled these weight classes right now, this is who would make the finals.
Absolutely. Every other week we'll put an adjustment in, you know, on where we think, and they're going to be much different at the end of the year, I imagine, because I'm not that good. That's what they are now. But you know, so you're going to see some stuff that maybe, you know, you can say, oh well, you know, this person beat this person. Well, yeah, this is just where we think it's going to end up. We got a podium, a round of blood round wrestlers, round of 16, and then a round of 24. So there'll be 24 guys ranked. In some cases, there's 25. I had a couple of them tied at 24. But yeah, so this is the ranking.
So much research into this. It's unbelievable. Kevin's research is unmatched, folks, and we're going to get into it right now. Let's start, Kevin, with the 125-pound preseason too soon rankings. I put them up on the board. It's the Nostradamus 125. We have the Podium Club. We have the Blood Round of 12 Club. We have the Round of 16 Club, and then we have the Round of 24 Club.
Yeah, let's go through looking at these, you know, I'm really high on Luke Lillidahl winning the weight class. I think that even with Richie Figs back, and I'll have moved up. I think that he has what it takes to be a true freshman national champion. I really do. He might suffer a couple bumps along the way, but I think that between his mat smartness is just unbelievable. It's unparalleled how good and smart he is on the mat already as a high schooler, at least he was as a high schooler. So I think that he has what it takes, especially in a weight class that was so off the wall last year. There was 8 different guys ranked number 1 at one point last year. 8 of them.
125 so is jambalaya. Yeah, it's a wild card.
Yeah, it's all over. There's a couple, I think Matt Ramos will bounce back good. I think that, you know, he'll end up at third, I think. There's Cornell has Greg Diakomahalis.
Yanni's younger brother.
Yeah, he's a senior. He's been behind Unger, but he's got really good wins. He beat what's his name there? Sotelo from Harvard right after he beat Noto from Lock Haven. Greg beat him 14-3. He also has a couple other really good wins. He had a overtime loss to Camacho. That was like last year, but he was 16-3 last year. And he has the fastest duck under high C you'll ever see. His only downfall is he's very small. He looks like he's about 117 pounds.
Little undersized.
So, very undersized, but he's very, very good. He's a 5-time New York State champion. So that's why he's on there. Besides that, you know, this is it. I think this is what we're going to go with. You're going to see a lot of change in this weight though, because all these guys last year lost 7 times. What's that?
Kevin, you comment as I speak. We got Lillidahl, the Penn State, and we're basically assuming Lillidahl. We don't even know that Lillidahl is going to be the 125-pounder for Penn State, right?
I mean, yeah, Braden Davis, I think it's going to be up. You know, it just seems like that makes sense.
We're projecting, folks, and so often our projections are very accurate, so you might want to stick with it. Figueroa, the defending champ there, also on the podium. Ramos, obviously everyone knows he beat Spencer. Tanner Jordan, San Diego State. Kevin, I got to be honest, don't know much about Jordan. Jorval, Cooper Flynn, know about Cooper Flynn. Troy Spratley, yes. You talked about Diakomahalis. Well, who would be maybe like the first person in that is currently out of the podium? Maybe like Camacho, Caleb Smith.
It's funny because Steve O'Pullen is it's not a good thing, but he's a 2-time blood rounder. hopefully for his sake, we don't see him be a 4-time blood rounder like Mickey Felipe, which is the only one to ever do that. But he's a guy that's been right on the edge, of making that bump up there. He's just been a match short each time, which has got to be frustrating. But any of those round of 12 guys, I'm telling you, even round of 16, Noah Certain from Missouri. Remember, he was like in a body cast last year. Remember?
I don't.
He had like a neck brace on and all this stuff. We were laughing. Remember, me and your dad were laughing about it. He's tough as nails, but
so probably underrated. So he would be an easy bump up to the round of 12, I would say. Yeah. Pull in there. Oh my goodness, man! This is arguably the most unpredictable weight class, right, folks?
Yeah, you can't. This is going to be way, all over the place as far as who goes what. So that's it on 125.
There's 125. One question, Austin: did Noto graduate or is up to 133? All right.
Noto is up to he's going 133 supposedly.
Here's 133, folks. Bang! That fast, and we got 133 up. Kevin, let's talk about it. In our podium, we have Ryan Crookham, Bailey, Ragusin, Frost, Shawver, Connor McNoggle, Davis, and Lucas the Nerdbird made the podium. Incredible. I like that, though. I like that.
Screen is frozen. 1 second.
Your screen's frozen. Okay. Well, I got to say, I'll talk about it. Ryan Crookham is your favorite, folks. Ryan Crookham, to me.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Is going to dominate this weight class. But if we want to get into your podium, because BEG Wrestling, we're doing rankings a little differently. Interesting to me, you have Bouzakis out in the round of 12, Kevin. Yikes. Want to get your thoughts on Bouzakis there.
He didn't really have a great NCAAs last year. There is something that has to be adjusted. Speaking of Noto, actually, Noto, I actually have in the round of actually had him 8th with Bird down. So these guys all moved down. I think I accidentally sent you the wrong one. So Noto I have at 8th, and then all
great
those guys
comment, Austin. Wow, already picking out our errors. Unreal.
Noto's a guy local to me too. He lives right down the road from me. He's from Honeywell Falls, Lima.
Let's get him on BEG for an interview.
Yeah, we should. He's got a lot of younger brothers too, a ton of them that are going to be coming up. But some guys some people are probably looking at this one guy and going, why is that? And that would be Phipps from Bucknell. Phipps actually is he's really tough. He's got a lot of
Bucknell making your blood round of 12.
He let me see here. Pull him up here. 1 second. Okay. So Phipps last year at the NCAAs, he lost to Nasir Bailey in overtime. 3-0. It was 0-0 going into overtime. He also lost to Dylan Shawver 1-0 at NCAAs. He's really tough. He had a really good offseason too. He wrestled at U23s and he beat Drake Iola at U23s first round from Iowa. He's really tough. You got to watch out for him. That's why I have him where I do. He's not known by a lot of people, but he's got a great resume.
Kevin, you have Braden Davis in here, Penn State. I got to ask you about that.
Yeah. So the word is Nagao got approved for a medical red shirt. So if that's the case, and that is true, then
hold up, Aaron Nagao got approved for a medical red shirt.
That's what I hear.
Penn State fans.
That's what I hear. I heard that he got it. So that the thing is he's going to have because he didn't have a red shirt left. So that's why I figured he'd have to start at 133. Braden Davis would have a red shirt, but with a medical shirt, now he can take his medical shirt. Braden Davis takes his true sophomore year at 133, and that means Nagao still has 2 full years left after this.
What, dude? Nagao? We got to watch 2 more years of Nagao? I'm sorry, Aaron Nagao, but just not the.
Yeah.
Are you serious, dude? That's
I think
crazy.
that I think that he'll be up at 141. If not next year, the year after. He actually started out as a 141 pounder. A lot of people don't know that, but he was at 141 when he started his college career. So I think that he'll take Bartlett's spot at 141 after Bartlett graduates, and then it will be Lillidahl, Davis, and then Nagao, and then Van Ness.
Okay. Well, super excited for that.
So,
anyway,
yeah, I can tell. Speaking of exciting, Brett Unger from Cornell.
There you go.
He moved up a weight class, so we can watch paint dry with that as well. Brett Unger, I don't understand him at all. His freshman year, he makes it to the round of 12, and he was a toe away from podium. He had I forget who it was, Van Treska, I think. He hip tossed him, and he was getting back points, and his toe slid out of bounds while he was getting back points in the last seconds. That's how close he was to making the podium. Last year, it looked like he digressed, though, and now he's moving up a weight. I don't know. I still think he's decent, but I don't think he's podium material. But yeah,
clearly, because he's not on the podium. But folks, we're going to be posting these rankings up on the Facebook page and also begwrestling.com. begwrestling.com coming soon as well. But Kevin, I must say, I must give a shout out to Evan Frost, because Evan Frost did me work on my fantasy team last year. So I see you have him making the podium again. That's very important. Maybe
I was looking at and this is kind of a gateway into our next weight, 141. But I would say that Jesse Mendez, throw it up there. Jesse Mendez might have been the most improved wrestler in the NCAA last year. If you think about it, he went from being at 133, and I mean, he lost to Vito like 5-1. Vito just dominated the match, though. He had 3 tie-breaking matches at NCAAs he had to win to make the podium at 133. He went from that to winning a national title and beating James Green, Yanni at Olympic trials, and then losing to Rutherford by a point. I mean, he could be the most improved guy, but then
can't say enough about Jesse Mendez. Absolute dog, dude.
Mendez, but then I was also looking at Evan Frost, and man, he was getting tech-falled by some dudes that I've never even heard of the year before during his redshirt year, and he's unbelievable improvement on him too. It's amazing how some of these guys they just, it's nice to see they reach their true potential. But yeah, Jesse Mendez I think is going to, it has nothing to do with the freestyle match that him and Alvarez wrestled. I will say this, that I hope he continues to open up, because he's always been attack, but that NCAA final he really shut down completely, and it's
Bo his first NCAA final, right? Hey, he's gonna come out this year.
Bo Bartlett, really. At the end there, he scored off a shot. And then when I watched him against Alvarez, it was the same thing. It's like neither of the guys were gonna shoot the whole match. So
well, you have to mention Bartlett, yeah. I have no concerns, Kevin, about Jesse Mendez. I think Jesse Mendez, if I'm in a fantasy wrestling draft, which I am, to me, Jesse Mendez is probably a top 5 pick, if not a top 3 pick. I don't see Alirez beating him. I'm sorry, Penn State fans. I don't see Bartlett beating him. Jesse Mendez, to me, you got to think about it, man. And we're going to be a year away from the last time we saw him dominate Alirez in that match. Jesse Mendez, he's so young, he's getting better, dude. Jesse Mendez is a dominant force, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I'm really comfortable with the top 8 guys in there. Hardy and Jack.
Brock Hardy, Ryan Jack, Happel, Tegan Jameson, and Vince Cornella from Cornell.
Yep,
Cornell people in there.
Cornella was injured last year. He tore an ACL, right? But he still beat Joshua Edmond with a torn ACL. He tore the ACL in the match, and he beat Edmond in the match. And also, Coderhant there from Navy, when Cornella was healthy, he beat Coderhant 15-3. Almost hecked him. But people forget, you're talking about a guy that bonused his way through EIWAs when he was healthy his freshman year.
Yeah.
He lost to McNeil in sudden victory at NCAAs. Then he was beating Swiderski 8-0 before he got cement jobbed and pinned, which was horrible. But Yeah, Cornella, when he's healthy, which he is now, is tough. He's a world team member at U20s. He's a bronze medalist. The guy's tough. He just was injured last year at a torn ACL, but he's beaten all those guys that are in the blood round of 12 and all the guys that are in the round of 16. So he hasn't been getting much love on some rankings, but when you go head to head, he's got the head to head wins over all these guys.
Cornella there. I also want to mention Brock Hardy, dude. He's always just in these discussions. I also want, who reminds me of Peyton Robb, who just competed in Greco at the World Team Trials, right?
What'd you say? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Peyton Robb.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Greco.
He made the semis.
Yeah.
He lost in the semis, but I was like, what?
Maybe Peyton Robb's starting a trend here, folks. If you know you're not going to win in the freestyle division, go ahead and go Greco. Help represent the country, right?
He got hammered on in the semis, but he did make the semifinals, and he's obviously just, not just too experienced in it, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, impressive.
All right, let's move on. 49. We got 2 more weight classes next week. We're going over the next half, but Kevin, let's move on to 149. Nostradamus. We got Caleb Henson, Shane Van Ness, Ridge Lovett, Ty Waters, Echemendia, Cal Parco, Webster, and Jackson Arrington. Okay.
Yeah.
Lachlan McNeil, notable out. Wow, that's bold.
I wouldn't be surprised if any of the top 3 guys won this weight. You got to remember, Ridge Lovett was a heavy favorite going into the tournament last year. He lost 1-0.
Oh yeah.
To Henson, and that was an idiot move by him. It all came down.
Greg was so heavy on Ridge Lovett going into the tournament last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so heavy. He bet. He said throw the house on Ridge Lovett, and then
he shouldn't have picked top against Henson. He picked top. He shouldn't have done it. But who's to say he would have won? You don't know. But anyway, I think that any of those 3 guys could win it. Van Ness, he had a great NCAA tournament. We don't know what to expect from him. That's why I don't have him at number 1. I don't know. We don't know. He's coming off a big injury. We'll see. Echemendia, it's assumed that he's going to go up a weight class, and he's still going to be strong at 149. He's a strong dude. I think he had some really good close matches last year. He didn't get blown out by anybody. He was very close to everybody that was above him. Cannon Webster is tough as nails. Number 7 at Illinois. He redshirt last year. PJ Duke did spank him in the U20 trials, but I really like Illinois. You got to watch out for Illinois too. Illinois is just like Virginia Tech. They're both quietly building really very strong programs. Jackson Arrington, who has a win over Caleb Henson last year in the ACC finals.
I like Jackson Arrington. Yeah.
Yep. He the only problem with him is I don't know if he's consistent enough to put a string of matches together like that, but nonetheless, he's up there. Lachlan McNeil's moving up a weight class to 149. Jaden Abbas, doesn't it seem like he should have graduated 15 years ago? It seems like I remember Yanni wrestling him like Johnny's junior year or something. It's crazy. Some of these guys, I'm like, what? Jordan Williams transferred over to Little Rock. Willie McDougall, he's a tricky guy. He's very tough but inconsistent. Sammy Alvarez,
12, Kevin, really? Come on, man.
What's that? Who?
D'Amelio only in the round of 12.
Yeah.
Come on,
Let me
man.
ask you this: who are you?
Got them working.
Who are you putting him in there? Who are you bumping out of the 8 to put him in? Maybe Webster.
I was gonna say Webster. By the way, it brings up an interesting point. If you look at the Flow rankings, pound for pound, I'm pretty sure the best Iowa wrestler in the pound for pound rankings is Ja'Cory Teamer, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's for one.
It's not even like a
good,
high rank.
Good lead way into the next weight class.
Good lead way into the next weight class. Our final weight class this week, Kevin. The 157 Nostradamus. There he is, your boy Ja'Cory Teamer. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about Iowa. They love us out in Iowa. Every time I go into Iowa, dude, I just hear them saying on the streets how much they love BG wrestling. Go ahead, Kevin.
So, okay. Everybody's losing their mind right now looking at this. Facundo, again, if you missed last week's show, Facundo certified at 157. He weighed 162 at the certification. He wouldn't be certifying at 157 unless there was a reason. And that reason, he's going to be our 157 pounder, and Kazak is going to redshirt. I almost guarantee it.
Kazak will redshirt.
Yep. Facundo goes 57.
Facundo is here.
65. And then you'll just have to wait till next week to see what's up with 74. But there has been some rumbling about Cardenas possibly redshirting. However, that's kind of quieted down a little bit, so I still have him in the rankings. Antrell Taylor has gone down from 165, and he had a very good NCAA tournament last year. He's very tough. He's down. Peyton Keller, I gave him a lot of slack last year, but then he came out and just tore it up at NCAAs, pinned Andonian, got on the podium. Panero Johnson, I'm tempted to.
Panero Johnson is in hot water with Wayne right now. Wayne called in just out of
rightfully so, man.
Panero Bread Johnson anger.
But even his first match at the trials was against Jacob Berglund, I think, and it was 11-11 criteria win. So he didn't. I don't know. Guys like that, I feel like you don't want to give them a year off. Now, he didn't have a choice, right? But guys like that, and by that I mean guys that I don't know how focused he necessarily is. He seems like kind of a loose cannon when it comes to that. But I think a year off did not help him any. Let's put it that way. I think that he still could be
not the way he looked last weekend.
Yeah,
if you had to move him out, Kevin, who's the first one in that blood round of 12 that you would move in?
It would probably be the number 9 guy, Downey. The Big 12 champion. He had a win over who I think will be redshirting next year for Iowa State with Panera going in there. Chittum. Downey is really tough. He's a scrapper. Under there, Askey beat Chittum too, but then I keep thinking of Shapiro teched him twice last year. Askey, when you get teched, to me, it's just I don't know if he's podium material yet. He does have some good wins though, and he is around a 12 guy from last year. But going down, you got Chase Adelte that he transferred over to Michigan. Isaac Wilcox is tough.
Maybe I see Joey Blaze down there. Is that a potential wild card? Ryan Marcus is high.
Blaze is really tough, man. Blaze and Legend Lamar, I believe, is a 1 or a 2-time blood rounder. This weight is really deep, man. Remember last year it was the most exciting weight to me as far as being deep was 157 last year. You had guys like, for instance, Vincent Zerbin. He was like undefeated before Big 12s. And it's kind of a funny story. I was talking to his dad on Facebook Messenger, because I kind of was giving him some slack how he didn't have any wins. And his dad was like, well, and it turned, and so respectful, times like that, you feel like I felt like kind of an ass, but I stuck to my stuff. We had a really good conversation and messaged each other quite a bit actually afterwards. Real good guy.
Currently in the round of 24.
I'll tell you what though, man. Blaze. Yeah, Joey Blaze, you are right though in saying that he is a guy that he had some really good wins last year, some really good if you can say it, good close losses, if there is such a thing. So he is a guy that could definitely make some noise. Let's see. He lost to Franek in tiebreaker at NCAAs last year. And he lost to Franek 5-2 at Big Tens. But he actually had a win. He had a win over Peyton Robb last year, if you remember, early in the season. So Blaze is definitely tough. Looking at this weight, you know what? Meyer and Teamer have never wrestled each other. They could wrestle at this year's CKLV, though, because both of them were there last year. And Meyer jokes around. He's like, he wants to wrestle Teamer real bad, but he's like, every time it comes to it, he goes, I screw it up. Because at CKLV last year, he lost to Cardenas in the quarters, and then Cardenas got smoked by Teamer. in the semis. And then at NCAAs, he lost to Cardenas in the quarters, and Cardenas got smoked by Teamer in the semis. I think it's a matchup thing, though. Like, Teamer's beaten Cardenas, I think, 5 out of 6 times, or maybe 5 out of 5.
Kevin, I'm making a bold prediction here. 157. This is Shapiro's weight, Shapiro's year. Okay? How quickly we forgot. Yeah. Last year at this time, we were literally talking about Shapiro challenging Kale's undefeated all-time record. Okay, and then he gets a concussion early on, dude. It knocks him completely off his game. Okay? I believe now he has had time to regroup, and we're going to see the Meyer Shapiro. I'm taking Shapiro, which is very unfortunate for my Iowa conglomerate because, you know, Ja'Cory Teamer, we paid a heavy price for him, right?
Well, here's the thing, man, is Meyer Shapiro, people forget. I hear it all the time. Oh, he's got gas tank issues. No, man, he doesn't have gas tank issues. Watch his U20 World Finals, man. He wrestled the same guy that
he got concussion issues. He don't have gas tank issues.
No, man, if you look at it, he won at 30-3 last year, right? He won 20 matches in a row at one point. And at NCAAs, he scored the 10th most team points out of anybody. Even though he got third, he scored more team points than Strachey scored. That's had impressive. Bonus after bonus. It was really impressive. He beat Cardenas for third 10-4. And that was where 2 of his losses were. And he majored Franek. He's got a ton of good wins. He had the toughest schedule of any 157-pounder last year too. People forget that he is that good. You know, he beat Ed Scott. He beat everyone he faced except for Cardenas. He lost to twice, and he had that.
Oh, I was on the Shapiro train last year, dude, until the concussion, and then I had to jump off. But yeah, I'm back on the Shapiro train. He's wearing one of them NFL helmets out there now, dude. And then they said he never had a concussion. That training staff.
Yeah,
we're brilliant. We're brilliant. Man. Did you see that brilliant guy come out and give that inspection? Hey, Meyer, are you okay? Oh, he good. He good. Send him back out there.
Yeah, though, he beat Bryce Andonian 3 times last year, which I made a video you got to see with it's Shapiro and Andonian going at it. And there's 3 matches, and it's awesome. It's like the whistle blows, and these two just sprint at each other. And they're just going like it's like the complete opposite of Marcus Blaze and Dayton Fix match. It's like just nonstop action.
Hey, I hope we get the best Meyer Shapiro this year. I'll say that. But.
Me too, man. Me too. He's got the talent to do it. You know, I hope he does. We'll see. You know,
Kevin, final thoughts on this 157. The rest of them, folks, we'll bring to you next week. I literally have them.
I would just say that this will be just like last year. Will be the best round of 16 and the best quarterfinals in the NCAA tournament next year will be 157 again.
This is where your fireworks are at, folks. 157, that's it. We're going to be posting them up. We're going to be starting the webpage, website, everything. Folks, the season is literally right around the corner.